everyone, a very good morning to all of you children. So this video is for standard 2 and for day 2, and as you can see here, subject is also mentioned, that is this video is of English. I hope children that you all are fit and fine at your home. So let's start and let's see what we are going to do today. That is chapter number 11, Jane and the Chimps. So we have already studied this chapter earlier also, and I hope that this chapter is very much clear to all of you. And still, if you are having any problem, you may ask me in your class. So today we are going to do enjoying the story. That means today we are going to do exercises of the story, that is Jane and the Chimps. Let's see what are the questions. What do these lines tell us about Jane Goodall? That means some lines are mentioned in your next slide, and you have to pick the most suitable answers from the box. Okay children, so let's see what are the most suitable answers and what are the questions. Here question number A is, as a child she loved watching animals for hours. As a child she loved watching animals for hours, and some words are also given in boxes in your box, that is loved animals, wanted to learn more, worked hard, was kind and caring. As a child she loved watching animals for hours. For example, here according to this question, we are able to see that this sentence is telling us that how much she loved animals. Right children, how much she loved animals and she loved watching them for hours. So here the correct and the most suitable answer will be loved animals. Okay children, so here you have to write loved animals, L-O-V-E-D, loved animals, A-N-I-M-A-L-S, animals. Because this statement is showing us that as a child she loved watching animals for hours. Okay children, so this is the answer. Moving towards our next question, that is question number B. Every morning Jane walked into the forest, climbed to a peak and looked for chimps. So here as you can see, words are also given. Loved animals will not be your answer because we have already used this correct answer in our previous question, that is question number A. So only 3 options are left here, that is wanted to learn more, worked hard and was kind and caring. Every morning Jane walked into the forest, climbed to a peak and looked for chimps. That means this was her work. She has to look for chimps and she has to write about them in her diary. So this was her job, right children? So here it is written, and with the help of a statement we are able, with the help of correct the sentence, we are able to answer here that she worked very hard. Yes, so the correct answer will be work, W-O-R-K-E-D, worked hard. But how she worked hard? Because in the beginning the chimps were not very much familiar to her, that is Jane. But then also what she did, she walked into the forest and she used to climb to a peak, and from there she used to search the chimps and looked for chimps. Okay, so this is the reason why we have written here worked hard. So let's see what is our next question. That is question number C. That is question number C. Jane learned many new things about chimps, and here we have already written 2 words, the correct words in our previous 2 questions, that is loved animals and worked hard. So we are not going to use both these answers here and in your next question also. So wanted to learn more and was kind and caring. Jane learned many new things about chimp. That means she wanted to learn more. She wanted to learn more. So here the answer will be wanted, W-A-N-T-E-D, wanted, to, T-O-2, L-E-A-R-N, learn more. She wanted to learn more. This will be your answer, your correct answer. Okay, children? So moving towards our next question. But before that, I will repeat this question once again for you all. That is, Jane learned many new things about chimps. That means she wanted to learn more. Okay, children? So moving towards our next question. That is question number 4. That is D. So here we have used loved animals, worked hard, wanted to learn more. Only one correct answer is left here. But then also we are going to deal with the question first. Jane asked people to help save the chimps and the forest. Why? Because her friends were in danger. Forests were being cut down in Africa at that time, and her friends, that is chimps, they were very you can say homeless. They were very sad because the forests are being cut down. Jane asked people to help save the chimps and the forest. So, was kind and caring. Why? Because she was thinking about the chimps. She was requesting people. She was asking people for help. For whom? For the chimps. Okay. So, was kind, K-I-N-D, kind, and caring. And caring, C-A-R-I-N-G, caring. This is your answer. Okay, children? So, Jane asked people to help save the chimps and the forests, was kind and caring. She was very much kind and caring also. Okay, children? So, let's move towards our next question. That is question number B. Here it is written, Jane loved animals as much as she loved human beings. It is very much clear to all of you that Jane loved animals very much as she loved human beings. Underline sentences that show us her love for animals. So, what we have to do? We have to underline some sentences in the story that show us how much she loved animals. Okay, so we have to do this thing. So let's see what is the story. Here, Jane Goodall loved animals. As a child, she loved watching animals for hours. She wanted to know everything about them, what they eat and how they live. So in first paragraph, we are going to underline, as a child, she loved watching animals for hours. She wanted to know everything about them, what they eat and how they live, just like humans. Okay, children? So, moving towards our next paragraph, let's see. That is, after finishing school, Jane went to Africa for work. Her job was to watch chimps. What was her job? Her job was to watch chimps and write about them. So she moved to Gombe where the chimps lived. Every morning, Jane walked into the forest, climbed to the top of the peak, and looked for chimps. So here, Jane worked very hard. For what? For chimps, because she wanted to know, she wanted to learn so many things, new things about them. I want to learn new things about them, she wrote in her diary. Okay, children? So here we are going to underline, every morning Jane walked into the forest, climbed to a peak and looked for chimps. And next is, I want to learn new things about them. Please underline this also, children. Okay? So moving towards our next page, let's see. In the beginning, the chimps stayed away from Jane because they were not familiar with Jane. Sometimes she couldn't see them for many days. She could only hear their pant-hoot calls to one another, the way they talked to one another. But the chimps were watching Jane. After a few weeks, chimps slowly get Jane let see him. Jane was excited. She gave each chimp a different name. To her, each chimp was special. So, with the help of this line, you are able to see that she gave each chimp a different name, and to her, every chimp was special. So, you have to underline these two sentences. Okay. She gave each chimp a different name. To her, every chimp was special. Okay, children? Underline this in your book also. One day, a chimp with a grey beard came close to Jane. She had named him Greybeard. Okay, here you have to underline she had named him David Greybeard. Jane offered him bananas. David Greybeard took bananas from my hands. Look, how here you have to underline this sentence that David Greybeard took bananas from my hands, because she wrote this in her diary that day because she was very much excited. So here you can see that how much she loved them. So here you have to underline this sentence also. Okay, children. So moving towards our next paragraph, she learned many new things about chimps. She found that chimps could make and use tools. Before this, nobody knew that wild animals made tools. So here, Jane learned many new things about chimp. You have to underline this sentence as well in your book. Okay, children? So here is next slide that she saw David Greybeard eat meat. Before this, everybody thought chimps only ate plants. Slowly, the chimps let Jane come even more closer. They even let her sit among them. Chimps all around me, what a day, she wrote. She wrote in her diary that chimps all around me, what a day. Now you can see here how much excited she was. So here we are going to underline, you have to underline that chimps all around me, what a day. You have to underline this sentence. Okay, children? Here is your next slide, that is, for years Jane spent most of her time among the chimps. She spent her time among the chimps. With them she spent her time. So here you have to underline the sentence also. Jane spent most of the time among the chimps. She watched the chimps when they were happy. She saw them hold hands, hug, kiss and laugh just like people. Jane watched the chimps when they were angry or scared. She even saw them fight, but she kept out of the way. So this was the thing. Here you have to underline only one sentence, that is Jane spent most of the time among the chimps. Okay, here you have to underline only this sentence. Okay, children? Here is at the same time, forests in Africa were being cut down and animals were losing their homes. Jane's friends were in danger. So she left Gombe and traveled all around over the world. She asked people to help save the chimps and the forest. Why she asked people? Because she was very kind, she was very caring, as like human. She cared for chimps also. So here you have to underline. So Jane left Gombe and traveled all over the world. She asked people to help save the chimps and the forest. Here you have to underline this sentence. Okay. Moving towards our next paragraph, that is Jane returned to Gombe whenever she could. Whenever she was getting time, she returned back to Gombe. She watched and listened again to her friends in the forest. So here you have to underline this sentence also, that is she watched and listened again to her friends in the forest. So you have to underline this thing also. Okay, children? So here story is completed. So moving towards our next exercise, next question, that is words in use. So here what we have to do, we are going to do question number B of words in use. That is complete these sentences with the correct words. Some words must be given them, and we have to complete the sentence with the help of those words. So let's see what are the words and how we have to complete all the sentences. Okay, so here is the question. There was no power last night. We could hear the chip croak of the crickets. Okay, so here some questions are there which is related to animal sound. That means just like human, just like us, animals also communicate with one another. They also use different types of sounds. They produce different types of sounds. They use different types of signs also to communicate with one another. To if any danger is there, they must indicate it to their friends. So in this way they communicate by producing different types of sound. We communicate as a human, we communicate, we talk to our friends, we talk to our relative, we share our ideas, our thoughts to them. Just like us also, animals, they also used to communicate with one another. Okay, so there was no power last night. Last night what happened? No power was there, light electricity was not there. We could hear the chip of crickets. Crickets are the insects, and they used to produce a sound, and the name is chip. CHICHIRP, chip. Okay, CHIRP, chip of the crickets. So chip is the right answer. Frogs, they used to croak. Okay, frogs, they used to croak, but here the correct answer is chip. CHIRP, chip. Okay, here's your next question, that is question number 2. Can you hear the owls dash panthoot call hoot in the distance? Panthoot call and hoot in the distance. Two words are given here. Wait a minute. Yes, here two words are here, that is panthoot call and hoot in the distance. Can you hear the owls dash in the distance? So the correct answer is hoot. HOOT, hoot, because owls, they used to produce sound hoot. Hooting sound they used to produce. So can you hear the owls hoot in the distance? So the correct answer is hoot. HOOT, hoot. Okay children, panthoot calls. Chimps, they used to produce like this, the sound like panthoot calls. We named the sound as panthoot calls. Okay, so here the correct answer is hoot. Next question is, a hyena dash hoot laugh sounds like human laughing. Hyenas, they also produce some type of sound, and their sound also sounds same like a human laughing. So owl, they hoot, but hyena, they laugh. So here the correct answer will be LUGH. Hoot will not be your correct answer. The hyenas laugh sounds like a human laughing, just like we are laughing. It sounds like that. Okay, a hyena's laugh sounds like human laughing. Okay children, here is question number 4. Listen to the frogs croaks humps by the puddle of water. By the puddle of water. So listen to the frogs croak. Yes children, frogs, they used to produce sound like croaks, and bees, they hum and buzz. They produce sound like hum and buzz. So here the correct answer will be CROAKS, croaks. CROAKS, croaks. Listen to the frogs croak by the puddle of water. Okay children, so this is your answer. Next is, they could hear the dash panthoot calls laugh of the chimps but couldn't see them. Now in this story we have studied that chimps, they used to produce panthoot calls, sounds like panthoot calls. So they could hear the panthoot calls of the chimp. This is your right answer, but couldn't see them. Human, we used to laugh, but they used to produce sound like panthoot calls. Okay, so here the answer will be PANT, pant, HOOT, hoot, C-A-L-L-S calls. They could hear the panthoot calls of the chimps but couldn't see them. So this is your answer, children. Okay, let's see. Thank you for everyone for watching this video, for paying attention. Please take care of yourself and be safe. Have a nice day. Bye-bye. Bye everyone.